All right, friends, let's check homework and take questions if we have any. Ma'am.
I got a green sweatshirt.
Nice.
It's from my friend's salon, so you should have your wife go there. Or you go there. It's called Jekyll and Hyde. It's downtown.
So hold on. I'm confused right now. Aren't we checking homework?
Of course I am. I don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm just talking while reading it.
Any preguntas? Means questions in Spanish. One of my favorite Spanish words because it's just fun to say. Preguntas. Complementary, add up to 90. Supplementary, add up to 180. Vertical are always opposite each other and equal. Right? So like across from each other, opposite from each other, whatever you want to say. Any questions? Oh.
For C, I got radius is 10 centimeters on 932.
This is the wrong homework. Sorry, I don't have a copy of this up here.
Well, I don't know if you want to look at it. My beautiful handwriting.
32C.
Yeah, I got 10.
So the circumference is what?
Pi d.
Pi times diameter. So if our circumference is 314, to work our way back to diameter, I know how you got 10, but 10 is wrong. To work our way back to diameter, we divide by pi. What's 314 divided by 3.14? It's 100. Your diameter is 100. You accidentally took your 314 like it was your area. Yep, it's your circumference, not your area. So your diameter should be 100, and radius then would be 50. Gravity works. 26 pounds more per tree, 7/12 of a cup. On 38, that's really just practicing us getting common denominators again. So really, if you end up doubling the 3/16, guys, if you look at that pipe question, you've got what are the edges of the pipe on both sides, so you could double it. You'd then have 6/16, which you could drop down to 3/8, and then you could just work everything in eighths. Any questions?
This is going back to 32 for B for area. I got 254.34 inches squared.
Okay, you're really close. So where do you think that slight amount of error maybe came in? What value are we working with that is going to cause a bit of error depending on pi, right? So radius squared is 81. 81 times 3.14, and I get 254.34. But if they do 81 times actual pi, it's 254.5. So apparently somebody there was using actual pi. So as long as you're close, right, guys? When we're working with pi, there's a certain amount of acceptable error, which I know is a weird thing to say, but like, depending on the math you're doing, there's a certain amount of acceptable error. Like, my brother-in-law used to be the VP of finance for Maine Medical, like up in Maine. Their acceptable error in their accounting was like $1 million. Because think about it, if every like Band-Aid, if you have like a little bit of error a bunch of times, like literally they could be like $1 million off at the end of the year, and they're like, okay, good, we're within the right range. Because they were doing like hundreds of millions of dollars of business. Like $1 million's not that much compared to the total, but depending on what the total is. Right? I mean, but think about how much money medical centers are doing. And hundreds of millions is probably undershooting how much money they actually go through. I know, like we talked about yesterday, on some of these homeworks, I delete problems to make your lives easier. All right, if it's done, turn it in. If it's not, evaluate your life choices. Nice. Yeah. If you can't complete 2 homeworks in a week and get them turned in when they're due, I think that might be time to evaluate the choices that we're making. Now, if you are somehow behind, you have a 3-day weekend. Utilize it to get caught up. Another stapler if you guys want here. Utilize what you've been given. Now, it's a 3-day weekend right now, but it might turn into a 4-day weekend, maybe. It's going to be cold on Tuesday, and if it's cold enough, I have no say over this. No, just cold. Literally, if it's so cold, they won't, they'll cancel school because it's too cold for kids to be at bus stops. Now, guys, if you want my honest truth, I don't think Tuesday is going to be canceled. I don't think it's going to actually be cold enough. But I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know what's going to happen.
Wait, why's Monday?
Martin Luther King Day.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite quote, Martin Luther King. So, you have this. Oh, sorry. What I was going to say was utilize the weekend to get caught up or Ada, I really can't focus with you doing that. Or if you would like to work ahead and get some of our future homeworks, you are welcome to take extra homeworks from back there. I pretty much got the entire chapter, I'm pretty sure. So talk to me if you are wanting extra future homeworks and you want me to help you figure out what to take. This is on your paper. If you really would like to build it, now guys, if you start using these as toys, I will take them right back, but if you would really like to build it, these are the best cubes that I ordered them, and they're the best I got. You can kind of make them work together, but not really. They don't all connect together, so you can build it on your table and just kind of look at it, but they don't all really connect together all that well. So I mean, come get some cubes if you really want, but what I swap for a moment because you're making it awkward, so I can't see all. We need to find surface area and volume. So we're going to just work units, right? Units squared, units cubed. Well, like we were doing yesterday with Dandy Candies, what is the total surface area, although this package is a bit different, and what is the total volume? So dive into that with your partner. If you really want cubes, come grab some.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's way more than what you need. You need 10. Oh, you are right.
I got 35.
I think you just all covered it.
6 on the back.
Yeah, but there's already 10.
So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Okay, I got rid of them. They're really ugly combo, but I got.
Alright. Honest truth. And I knew these were somewhere. My closet's just reorganized. These are slightly better. If you really want to come get these, because these you can connect multiple sets. These are slightly better. Sorry, put away your other ones if you're getting these. I'm going to use green.
Do you know how to solve? Do you know how to solve algebraic equations with x with 2x?
Maddie, I have something. Yeah, I was like, hey, what? Amir took them and then I asked him for the pinky game. Oh, yeah. Oh. Anyways, equals.
I got 44 years.
Why did I just write those letters?
Because those are
Locker key.
top, bottom, left.
My garage key.
Top,
Top, bottom, left, right.
Front, back.
Front, back. So B is problematic. I don't know if we need to like define a different variable or just maybe like write out the whole word or like maybe abbreviate it or something or maybe
You want
back
it
we like
to?
make K or something. Like I don't know, back could be K. You have 6 faces because what we're working with is called a prism. So you might want to write this word down as we start getting into... Oh, hey, look, it's already written down for you. These are prisms. A prism... Actually, anyone know? I should do more asking and less talking.
I have a prism that, like, if you put it in light, it's rainbow.
Great. You probably don't actually have a prism, but because let's talk about what a prism is.
Oh, what's a prism, sir?
Owen, you have your hand.
Is it a shape with 2 bases on the top and bottom that are?
Well, you're asking me a question, so I will respond with your question by saying, this is a prism, this is not.
Oh.
This is a prism, this is not.
Never mind.
This is a prism, this is not.
I won like that one.
So, Owen, do you want to, instead of asking me a question?
Sorry, a prism has faces that are identical to the base on the bottom.
Prisms have 2 identical bases, and it doesn't have to be bottom. Because what is bottom? Guys, who's read Ender's Game? Great book, right? One of my favorite parts, now the book's always better than the movie, but one of my favorite parts of the movie is when Ender, I think it's Ender, says, like they're in space and they're talking about the battlefield, and he goes, there's no up in space. Like they're talking about how he did so well, and he said, well, it's because I didn't think about up and down. There is no up in space. That's kind of like with geometry. Because if I build a shape, the bottom is only the bottom until I knock it over. And until my cat walks up and pushes it. I don't have a cat, by the way. But like, so we're not going to talk about bottom very much. Meaning the like has to be sitting on the table bottom. But how this is sitting right now, it has a bottom. It has a top. It has a front. But we could always flip it and change it. So don't like, don't get married to the idea of that's the bottom. Because guys, this is, quit breaking. This is still a prism. Even though it's not sitting upright, right? This is still a prism. It looks more like a prism if we do this, but this is still a prism. So, that's too far away. Yes, I'm lazy today. So, if I set this like we had it in our picture, and if I try to kind of like the... I don't know if my dot camera can show... Ooh, we're upside down now. So the front. We'll respect privacy and we'll do this. What, so you guys don't end up like in my YouTube? The front of it. Can anyone talk to me about... I should probably use cards. Oh, gosh. Maddie, you want to talk to me about what you thought with the front? But you can't tell us a story about what you have at home?
Oh, okay. So basically, for the front, I see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Little squares. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Now wait, are you talking area or surface? Or are you talking surface area or volume?
I'm talking like the little squares that you see. So the
On
size.
just the front? So we're talking faces, right? And sorry that these are like open, but they have to be stuck into the other one. So if I look just at my front faces, if I color code these, I'm pretty sure it would be like this
you see
face, this face, that.
You see 6.
So that's 6.
That's 6. Yeah, that's what I said.
Our front has 6 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Our top, Claire. Our top. 4. Will, is there anything else that I know by knowing the top? Yeah, because exactly like what Owen said, the top and the bottom match. That's what makes it a prism. Now the left, now this is kind of weird. We definitely can't see the left here, but if I built this and I look at the left, Owen already shouted it out, it's also 4. And the right does match. It doesn't always necessarily match. Well, if it's a prism, I think it would. We'll want to test this and keep track of it as we go. But I think that's also 4. And does the front match the back?
Yep.
Yeah. Even though it looks a little different, the front matches the back. So our total surface area when we put it together. Oh, these are nice. 6 and 4s make 10. So 10, 20, 28 units squared. But our volume, Ahmad, did you guys get your volume yet? Simon, you said something as you were coming up to get blocks that I thought was really interesting. You want to tell the class, like, and you can either talk about this one or this one with, like, what you said.
Do you want me to tell, like, how I got the volume?
Sure. I mean, we can jump over here if you want to.
Yeah,
'Cause- So tell them what you said to me. Like,
I said that the one that you have the biggest takes about 16 blocks.
yeah, Simon looks at me and goes, I mean, at most, we only need 16 blocks. And what was Simon actually talking about by saying, at most, we only need 16 blocks?
The volume.
Anybody?
The volume.
How many blocks? Gravity. How many blocks is your volume? Right, and I wish we could do all this with Legos, but I don't quite have the classroom budget to buy Legos. But so our volume over here would be 16 units cubed because we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the bottom matches. Over here, what's our volume?
8.
Wow, how many different answers can we all shout out?
4.
Take a moment and look at it. How many blocks did you use? It's more than
8. Well, no, I'm thinking top. plus
8
top. Sorry, top plus
units
bottom equals 8.
cubed.
So the top is the same as the bottom. So then you have, if you find
Well,
out the
yeah.
top, then you multiply
If I
the
take this
bottom.
apart.
Sorry, you multiply the top by 2, and then boom, you got top and bottom, and then boom, that equals 8.
All right, so then our surface area over here in B. Now, guys, if we're looking front, it's not just these 4. It's everything facing the front. Who's my artists in here? So, guys, I like how CPM tries to give some shading of, like, there's got to be a light source somewhere. Or anyone in digital media, right? Like, you got to pick where your light source is at. So think about, like, what sides are getting hit by the light or not. So 4 there, 4 here. I think our front is 8, I think. Is the back the same?
Yeah.
What about the right?
6.
Because we can see the right, so I think it's better to start with right. And would the left be the same?
Yeah.
And then top and bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And same on the bottom. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Our volume doubled, right? This volume is double our original volume. Do you think the surface area is going to be doubled?
Yes. Oh, never mind. No, I lied.
I mean, your gut might think, like, yeah, it's going to be double, but it does not. What's 8 plus 8?
16.
Then another one.
32.
32 plus 6
38.
plus 6 more.
44.
44 units squared.
I'm better at multiplication. I promise, sir.
Yeah, let's get out Chromebooks and try to go back into the Desmos because some of us were struggling on that. By the way, if you need reminded names of shapes, and my friends and I at game night were nerding out last night. What's a decahedron? Mick? Just decahedron. That's dodecahedron. Ahmad, decahedron? What's
It's like
deca?
it's like a 10-sided 3D shape.
Yeah, decahedron versus dodecahedron. I don't know why I came to the new set because I have a set of these, so actually I'm missing one. So, now here's an interesting question for my nerds in here too, and maybe I'll send this to my friends so they'll be less mad at me. If you were to replace all dice in the world with only one type of die, how many faces would you choose for that die to have? And we can't really have this conversation during class. Like, I'd love to have this conversation with you guys outside of class. But, so guys, as we start talking about 2D shapes, we're then very quickly going to get to 3D shapes. A lot of 3D shapes are not prisms. For example, when we have dice, what D value is a prism? Which of these is a prism? Ahmad?
6.
The D6, right? Because it is same top, bottom, and goes straight up. None of the rest of these are prisms, because they're not the same on top and bottom, going straight up with rectangular sides. So, dodecahedron is 12-sided. I don't even know if I have a 12-sided. Yeah, I do. Here's my dodecahedron. And also, this is also a dodecahedron. Only a couple of you have even noticed that this is hanging here. This is a gift from a student. Really sweet. So, dodecahedrons have... Or no, this has got to be more, because these are triangle faces. It might be a 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, another 5 on the back. 6, 7. That might be a D20, actually. Yeah, Alex. Icosahedron. I forget how many sides
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
an
Is that 20? So, yeah, that might be the icosa. So, triangular prisms, triangle on top and bottom. Pentagonal prism, pentagon, top and bottom. So, our D6 would technically be called what kind of prism? A rectangular prism, if we want to get even more specific. Well, it is a cube, yeah. It's a square prism, which then we call a cube because square prism just kind of sounds weird. So yeah, square prisms are cube. Otherwise, the name of the prism comes from the base shape that is on both sides, right? So on top, bottom, or left, right, like it doesn't have to be top, bottom. It just has to have two matching bases. If instead of having matching bases, you have a base and then everything goes up to a vertex, pyramid, right? Like the Egyptians. But pyramids need to have more specifics in their name. Is it a triangular pyramid? Is it a square base pyramid? Is it a... What kind of pyramid is this up here? Hexagonal prism, right? Or hexagonal pyramid, my bad. It's got a hexagon on bottom. All goes up to a point. It is a hexagonal pyramid. One of my favorite die is actually, not that I would replace all the dies with this, but a D4. And lots of people, when you ask them, can there be a 4-sided die? They'll be like, no, that can't happen. Yeah, it can. It's a pyramid. What 4-sided shape has equal probability? Pyramid. You just make all these triangles identical, and then whatever number's pointed up, that's the number that you just rolled. Unless you're like, you know, an insane person and you go number down. But
That actually seems really fair, though.
right, my buddy's argument was, you know, there's always yes and no as your options, but then there's also like maybe, and then there's, you know, sometimes a fourth option.
Probably not.
The 3-sided die looks weird.
All right, so I'm waiting for a couple of us to still get back into the Desmos, but guys, most of us still had some issues on slide 4. So I wanted to review this all together, because it seemed like most of us were having some issues. Now, I can't really write on my board today. Yeah, absolutely. Except, wait, where'd you get that? Oh, somebody must have just said it there after the last class. So, 24 by 1 by 1. I think we did this one yesterday together. Or maybe, I know we did D. Did we do A together?
Yeah.
Guys, a lot of us still have this incorrect. If I go 1 by 24, all right, the top's 24, the left is 24, the right is 24, the bottom's 24.
448.
90,
6.
96 plus the
Two.
front and the back.
98.
So this guy would be 98. Do we have any questions on how we got 98 there? Top, bottom, left, right would all be identical in that prism. Guys, everything we're doing here is prisms. So my 622, I guess we'll go 2, 2 here, and then 6. 1, 2, 3. I think that's 6. I wish I could make this bigger. So, okay, with 622, do I still have any matching faces? Remember faces. Yeah, top, bottom, left, right are still matching. Would you like a plug, Claire?
Yes.
There's an extension cord for that reason. Here you go. So yeah, top, bottom, left, right are all matching. 6 times 2. 6 times 2. 12. So 12, 24. Double that again. 48 plus 4 plus 4. 52, 56. Anybody would have verified that with me? Is that what you got, 256? Guys, a lot of us need to go back to slide 4, and I don't know if anyone is on slide 4. Okay. Let's do this. Haha. I think that should pull you to me. If I sync you.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait. Yeah, and I can't go next, and I can't go back.
Haha.
Dang, I feel trapped. I feel deceived.
So now 12 by 1 by 2.
Sorry.
12 by 1 by 2 isn't going to be as nice, and I'm not sure if this is 12, but I'm not going to take the time to count. Do I still have 4 matching faces? No. Top, bottom match, left, right match, front, back match, like we talked about yesterday. And like we talked about yesterday, we're going to use each dimension twice. So guys, I want us to get used to like how to practice this with like what would be written out with a 12, 1, 2. Because I want to make sure this sunk in before we get out of here for the day. You don't even have to write like top, bottom, left, right. Because like we said, there's no up. There's no defined up. But 4 dimensions of 12 by 1 by 2. And yes, I know I'm using the X, but when we talk dimensions, a lot of times we use that X to mean like by. It's like a 2 by 4. If you go to Home Depot to buy a 2 by 4, you'd search it up by typing 2x4, right? Like 2 by 4. We use that. If I'm going to find the surface area, the 12 and the 1 go together. The 12 and the 2 go together. And the 1 and the 2 have to go together. Each value gets used twice. So if we're going to practice writing out this math, and then what do we do after we total these?
Double.
We double it because we know they all have matching faces. Amir, what you're doing is really annoying to me teaching a lesson. We're not on recess. So make sure we all have this right. I'm not finishing C and D for you. If you want to check if you're right, let's anonymize. And I'll zoom out a little bit. Once you move past slide 4, because I unsynced, so as soon as you click past it, it'll either show a check or an X. If yours shows an X, you need to go back and fix something. Oh, my beat. So like MC Escher needs to go back and fix stuff. No Bao Chow needs to go back and fix stuff. Kimberly Weems, Sophie Germain, all these famous mathematicians that did not get slide 4 correct. It's alright, even famous mathematicians make mistakes sometimes. So really what I hope we are learning from here is the same amount of candy, right? Same amount of candy, but different package. Guys, 96 compared to 56? Like, did we talk about Amazon in here yesterday?
Yeah.
Think about it. They have to pay for that cardboard. Even if they make their own cardboard, you got to get the trees, you got to process them, you got to, like, print the stuff on that. Like, you're paying for all this. So businesses want to optimize what they're doing and minimize the amount of expenses, which is why we minimize materials. I know I said I'm not doing it for you, but just to make sure if anyone has questions, you ask them. What did we all get for C? 76. Ooh, that went the wrong way.
38.
38. Are you sure you remembered to double?
I got 50.
So if we go back to the work we just wrote down, my 12 by 1 by 2. one face, another face, another face. We add them up and get 38. But then we have to double that because this is only 3 of the faces. There are 2 12s, 2 24s, and 2 2s. So when we double that, it's really not for C. Because didn't we just have 38?
Oh yeah.
And then that doubled is just
I think
70.
I accidentally doubled it twice.
I think C is supposed to be 76. And then if we quickly want to make sure we all did the right thing for D, which we did yesterday, but just to review it again, 6 by 4 by 1?
Yeah.
So the 6 and the 4 get used together.
6 and 1.
The 4 and 1 get used together, and the 6 and 1 get used together. We got 34, and then we doubled it. 68. All right, have a wonderful weekend, friends. Thank you.